Hey guys, Wildland Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the DC Icons Nightwing. Finally, we have Nightwing from the DC Icons line. Take a look at the back right here. You got Nightwing, Supergirl, Superboy, and you have Damian, Robin right there. I believe this one was supposed to have Etrigan also, but they canceled him, which kind of sucks. But let's take a look at Nightwing and open him up. Alright, so here he is out of the box, and now he looks fantastic. I love how he looks, but before we get to him, we will take a look at his accessories first. Now, he does have a couple of them, which are pretty nice. First off, he does come with his black batons right here, but you cannot store them on him like the old DC Universe one, where there used to be a thing in the back you could put right there, which is not a horrible thing, but you know, you do have that nice option. They're nice, they're small, they're pretty skinny, which is pretty comparable to the size of the figure, so no complaints there. They're a pretty good plastic, they're not bendable really, they feel pretty nice. You know, the old ones were like thick rubber batons. These are pretty nice. You can hear it hit the ground like that. Not bad. Next right here, he does come with a rope, like a grappling rope, that has a little handle on one side, which is pretty cool. And the other side actually is a Batarang. Now, the only thing I don't like about that is, you know, he's not really part of Batman's, you know, team anymore as Nightwing. And he is, but I thought maybe he should have his own, you know, like a Nightwing one. So, but you can still use this for Batman, which is not a bad thing as well. So that's pretty cool. So you have that on the side. And of course, he comes with 3 pairs of hands. 2 of them, well, 1 pair on him right now are the closed fist. But what I like about this is that all the other pairs, if you want to call it that, or the 4 other hands, are all different. By saying that, you know, sometimes you might get 1 pair and the same exact kind on both hands. These are all different actually. So let's take a look at them right here, and they pretty much would be used to, you know, hold his weapons, but in different hand gestures, if you want to say that. So here's one right here, which is pretty cool. I like how it looks. This one is a little bit more of a holding motion. They can hold his baton like that. So that's pretty nice. Alright. Now the next one is very similar to that one as well, but the fingers a little bit more farther apart over here, but very similar. Actually, it might be the same thing. I could be wrong. Actually, you know what? I don't know. They are the same. I wonder if this is not supposed to happen. But who knows? Alright, forget that. And now this one is a closed hand to hold the baton like that. Maybe, I'm wondering if I wasn't supposed to get 2 of the same ones. Maybe they messed up in the packaging, which is a possibility. And maybe I was supposed to get another one of these. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, you can see that there are different kinds, so that is pretty cool. So hopefully, maybe mine is a defect, or maybe that's how it's supposed to be. We'll find out later. But yeah, I like the new hand gestures. These are a little bit different. I like this one too. You know, a little different, which is pretty nice. So right here we have Nightwing with his 2 fists in his hand. So he looks like he's about to fight. So you see how that looks like right there. And now in this one, he has 2 different hands holding his batons, which look pretty cool. So you can have a little bit mix and match right there, and have him posing off any way you want, which is pretty nice. Alright, so now taking a look at Nightwing up close and personal, I have to say he looks fantastic. I love the outfit, I love the sculpting, I love the paintwork. Not a lot, but it's so clean, it's so nice. The blue on him looks fantastic as well. My camera is picking it up a little bit lighter than it is in person, but it is clean, it is nice, and the paintwork on it is fantastic. The rest of the body is all matte black, as you can see right there. Nothing special about that, but it's clean, which is nice looking. And going down to his boots are actually a gloss black, which is a nice touch to it. But everything about this figure looks fantastic. And the most important thing about it is clean. Looking at the head sculpt, let's kind of zoom in there right now. I like the head sculpt. You know, sometimes they could have a really different head sculpt. Sometimes this one looks you know, it's safe. It definitely is safe looking. They didn't do anything too crazy about it. The mask on it looks nice. The hair looks really good too. You can see his bangs coming down on the sides. It's not just one piece. You know, they actually sculpted it really nicely, which is pretty good too. Overall, we've been waiting for a nice Nightwing figure for a long time. DC Icons definitely delivered big time on this one. And And I always said, you know, DC Icons is technically it is 6-inch, but they do scale it down a little bit. But I always said this in my past reviews that the smaller characters will definitely benefit more more to these scales, because like Batman in this size doesn't really fit, but someone like Nightwing, someone like Red Arrow, or even all the girl characters, the smaller boy characters, you know, they definitely would benefit. And now we're finally getting them, including like Damian, Robin, you know, so awesome. I love this so much. Quickly, not going to articulation. He has a ball jointed head on a hinge, I believe. Actually, it might just be a ball jointed head. Goes up about that much, down not that much though, just a little bit. Left and right, no problems there. It does pivot as well, so you do have that. Not going to the shoulders. You're on hinge and rotate. The hinge goes all the way around, which is pretty nice. Goes up and down, no problems there. He does have a bicep swivel as well, right there. 2 points at the elbow, which is fantastic. Try to make it a little nicer right there. He actually has a swivel at the forearm right there. And he also has a swivel and a hinge at the wrist. So you have 2 swivels. I don't think we needed both of them, but it's always nice to have. And he has a hinge at the wrist as well, so he has some nice movement there. Going down to the ab work right here, he does have a ball joint, I believe. So it does rotate left and right, like that. So you do have that. He doesn't have a waist swivel, so you have this instead, which is nice. It does have a little bit give to pivot around too, so that's pretty nice too. I gotta stay in focus, come on. There you go. And of course he has an ab joint right there, which is pretty decent, but when they all work together, you do get something not bad. Going back is pretty decent as well, as you can see right there. Now going down over here, we said before he has no waist swivel, but over here at the hips, they do have a hinge that go down a little bit to allow some more articulation, which is nice. Kind of like SH Figure Arts like, which is pretty good. He does have a ball joint at the hips as well, so they go about not quite 90 degrees. You know, I do wish it was a little bit better, but not bad at all. They go back just a little bit. Split-wise, it's fantastic. He's definitely doing some splits, Nightwing is. He doesn't have a thigh swivel though. At the knee, he has 2 points at the knee, which is really good. Almost brings it all the way back, which is pretty nice. He does have a boot swivel, so that's pretty good. So even though he doesn't have a thigh swivel, the boot swivel does help a lot in posing him, which is nice. And at the ankle, he has a hinge, which is really smooth. I like that. And he does have a pivot, so that is fantastic. So yeah, articulation is pretty standard for a DC Icons figure. A little bit added nice things right here, like the swivel at the boots, which is pretty good. And yeah, he is pretty nice. Alright, size comparison time. So here is Nightwing with Batman and Robin. And like I said in the past about these DC Icon figures, the smaller characters will definitely benefit more. So right here we have a Batman figure, which is a custom actually, but he is based his base is actually a DC Universe figure, so I think that is a great size for Batman in a 6-inch scale. And as you can see, Nightwing he should not be as big as Batman, but definitely a nice medium-sized body, and I think this fits in really nicely. And of course you have Damian right there, which is a proper size one finally, and I think he looks pretty good. Definitely, like I said, smaller figures like this would definitely benefit more with your older DC Universe or Classics figures. Looks great in my opinion. Now, since they're all part of the same line right here, we have Superboy as well. So you can see a nice size comparison. They look great. I love it. These smaller kids look nice and better in scale with these grown-ups, which I like a lot. Alright, for our next size comparison right here, we have Nightwing with his 2 love interests as of late. Of course, we have Starfire right there from the old DC Classics Universe lines. And of course, we have a SH Figure Arts Harley Quinn, which I liked a lot. So, you know, if you guys have been watching any of the more recent cartoons, you know what I mean right there. And also, we also have the original one from the DC Icons of Harley Quinn. So you can see, you know, even the size fits in pretty well. I like how it looks. Not bad. And for another size comparison right here, we do have Nightwing with Superman from the DC Unlimited line right there with the new head sculpt. Head swap I did, and of course we had the more recent Damian Robin right here from the King Shark line, which is a little bit bigger, of course, compared to the new Robin right here, but as you can see, he's still, you know, it could match. It's not bad. Maybe if you want to use this one permanently, you know, right there, maybe turn this one into like a Tim Drake one, who knows, wherever he is. But yeah, so there you go. Alright, so this is a video edit right here. As I was editing my video, I realized I forgot to put in a size comparison with a Marvel Legends figure. So here is Spider-Man, and you know, basically in the comics, Spider-Man and Nightwing have pretty much similar, if not identical, body sizes and attributes, so you have a good understanding of how big this figure of Nightwing is right here with a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. They look pretty good, you know, not bad. You know, from different angles, they pretty much look the same exact size. You wouldn't even know the difference probably between them two. So yeah, definitely like how it looks right there. Alright guys, to wrap it up right now, I will say it for the last time, I love this figure. He is fantastic. He pretty much is exactly what you want your 6-inch Nightwing figure to be like. To be honest, he is great. Like I said before in the past, the DC Icons, the smaller characters will benefit a lot better from the DC Icons than the bigger ones. Or, you know, as you can see right here, he fits in really well with your DC Classics or Universe figures. Nice size, nice height, nice slender, slim body. Looks fantastic and great. Yeah, so I like how it looks. Quality control wise, overall it's pretty good. You know, the paintwork is great. Everything looks pretty nice. The sculpting is fantastic. But when you're looking for your own specific figure, if you're at a store, you know, check all the paintwork out, because I must have looked at like 5 of them. And honestly, this is the best one I could get, because either there was black spots on his head or forehead from the painting on his, from the hair or the mask, or there might have been some imperfections on the chest. So for mine in particular, there's a little bit of a splotch right there at the middle of the chest, which is not a big deal. I could fix it myself. But this was the best one for me, because all the other ones actually had like a black dot here and there on his forehead from his hair, I think. So not a big deal, but just something to look out for. And yeah, so that basically is it, guys. Definitely you want this in your collection. He is great looking. In my opinion, the best Nightwing figure we ever got. You know, the DC Universe one was pretty good, but I thought he was too big and bulky because they use the same base, you know, as a standard, you know, male size figures. This one, on the other hand, is really good. Fits in really well. You know, you won't have a problem with it, and you will love it. Alright guys, so that basically is it. I hope this review was helpful, and like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want, just pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go to wildandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!
That's crispy.